Spirit Airlines is gone. They filed for bankruptcy and shut it all down on May 2, 2026. Last flight lands, and the very next morning, a Fort Lauderdale to DFW fare that used to run $39 was suddenly $124 overnight. Same route, same seats, just no more Spirit undercutting everybody. If you're in the DFW area and you've been booking budget flights the same way for the last few years, that playbook is dead. The whole low-cost landscape here just got rearranged, and most people flying out of DFW or Love Field haven't caught up yet. So today, I'm answering the question I've gotten more than almost any other since Spirit went under. What's actually the budget option from DFW now, and is it even worth it anymore? Short answer, sometimes yes, sometimes it'll cost you more than just flying American. I'm going to show you exactly when each one applies with real numbers, so you're not guessing. Let's get into it. Quick reminder of who I am if you're new here. I'm based in Irving, about 10 minutes from DFW and 20 minutes from Love Field, and I fly out of one or the other pretty much every month. Last video, I walked you through Google Flights feature by feature, and I told you at the end this budget airlines breakdown was coming next. Here it is. Today, I'm covering 4 things: what actually changed when Spirit disappeared, what your real budget options are from DFW and DOW right now, the true total cost, not just the sticker price, on a real route, and a decision matrix so you know exactly when budget makes sense and when it doesn't. This is not a budget airlines are always great video, and it's not a budget airlines are always a scam video either. It's the actual math. Let's start with what happened. Here's the timeline. Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy and wound down operations completely on May 2, 2026. Not a restructuring, not a we'll be back. The airline stopped flying. Within 48 hours, Frontier had absorbed more than 100 of Spirit's former routes. That's not a coincidence. Frontier moved fast because they wanted that market share before anyone else could grab it, and because a lot of those routes were profitable for whoever could run them lean. And that fare jump I mentioned at the top, Fort Lauderdale to DFW going from $39 to $124 overnight, that's the clearest single data point of what losing a competitor does to a route. When there were 2 ultra-low-cost carriers fighting for the same seats, prices got pushed to the floor. Now there's basically one, and prices found a new higher floor almost immediately. Frontier also moved fast on the marketing side. They rolled out a $2.99 GoWild summer pass almost immediately, which I'll break down later in this video, partly to grab all those displaced Spirit loyalists in one move. The takeaway for you, if you were booking Spirit for years because it was reliably the cheapest option out of DFW, that specific strategy doesn't exist anymore. You need a new one. That's the rest of this video. Frontier is now the main ultra-low-cost carrier at DFW, full stop. They fly out of Terminal E, and since Spirit went under, they've inherited most of those old Spirit routes on top of what they already flew. Base fares start as low as $19 on select routes, and typical domestic fares run $50 to $90. From DFW, Frontier flies you to Denver, Las Vegas, Orlando, Phoenix, Chicago Midway, New Orleans, several Florida cities, and seasonally in winter, a handful of Caribbean destinations.
Now, here's what you need to know before that $19 headline gets you excited. Frontier's fee structure is aggressive. Your personal item under the seat is free. That's an 18 by 14 by 8-inch bag, so it's small. Everything past that costs extra. Carry-on bag, $59 if you pay at booking, $79 if you wait until check-in, $99 if you show up at the gate without one already paid for. That's actually the most expensive carry-on fee among the ultra-low-cost carriers, more than Allegiant, more than what Spirit used to charge. Check bag, $39 at booking, $49 at check-in, $79 at the gate. Seat selection, $10 to $50 depending on where the seat is on the plane. And if you don't pay for one, you're not guaranteed to sit next to anyone you're traveling with. Physically, the seats have no recline and a tight 28 to 29-inch pitch. For reference, that's noticeably tighter than economy on American or Delta. This isn't a knock on Frontier specifically. It's just what an ultra-low-cost carrier looks like structurally. The plane makes money by selling you the seat cheap and then charging for everything around it. Here's the one people in the DFW area sleep on, and it's not even really a budget airline in the ultra-low-cost sense. It's Southwest, flying out of Love Field, DAL, which is about 20 minutes from Irving. Southwest isn't at DFW at all. It's Love Field exclusively. But if you're anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro, that's a short drive, and the value proposition is completely different from Frontier's. 2 free check bags, still the best baggage policy in the entire industry, and it hasn't changed. Free carry-on, free seat changes, no change fees at all. And if you do need to cancel, your flight credit never expires. Compare that to Frontier, where changes and cancellations come with real costs and restrictions. The trade-off, no assigned seating. It's open boarding based on when you check in, so you're picking your seat, not being assigned one, and your boarding position determines your options. And, critically, Southwest does not appear on Google Flights. Never has. If you're running a Google Flight search and Southwest isn't showing up as an option, that's not a bug. You have to go directly to southwest.com to see Love Field prices. Southwest's network out of DAL covers Austin, Houston Hobby, Atlanta, Denver, Fort Lauderdale, San Antonio, and more than 50 other cities. If your destination is in that network, Southwest is very often your best move. Not because the base fare is always the lowest, but because the all-in cost with bags included frequently beats a cheap Frontier fare once you add Frontier's fees back in. I'll show you the exact math on that in a minute. Quick word on the other 2 names people ask about. Allegiant Air does not serve DFW or DAL at all. They fly point-to-point to leisure destinations, but out of smaller regional airports. The nearest Allegiant airport to us is Texarkana or Shreveport, and if you're in Irving, that's not a practical drive for a flight. Allegiant's carry-on fee is actually cheaper than Frontier's, around $35, but it doesn't matter if you can't get to one of their airports in the first place. For DFW area travelers, skip Allegiant. It's just not geographically relevant to us. Southwest Airlines has a limited, mostly seasonal presence at DFW, a handful of leisure routes that come and go depending on the time of year. It's small, it's emerging, and it's worth a glance if you're already checking Google Flights for a specific leisure destination, but it's not a primary player here the way Frontier and Southwest are. I'll keep an eye on it and update you if that changes.
This is the section that actually matters. Here's the base fare trap. A $49 base fare on a budget airline can very easily become $130 or more by the time you've added a bag and picked a seat. Let's run a real example. DFW to Las Vegas on Frontier. Base fare, $49. Carry-on bag, if you buy it at booking, $59. Seat selection, $10 to $25. Total, $118 to $133, one way. Now compare that to an American Airlines main cabin sale fare on the exact same route, roughly $89 to $119. That fare already includes a full-size carry-on, a real seat assignment, and no gate fee surprises. Do you see what happened there? The budget airline, once you add a bag and a seat, can land at the same price or higher than the legacy carrier's sale fare, and the legacy fare includes more. So when does Frontier actually win? When you're a solo traveler with only a personal item, no seat preference, and flexible dates. In that specific case, a $49 Frontier fare genuinely beats an $89 American fare. You're not paying for the bag or the seat, so the base price is what you pay. When does budget lose? A family of 4 with checked bags. Multiply Frontier's $39 plus checked bag fee by 4 bags, add carry-ons if needed, add seat selection so the family can sit together, and you can blow past what American's main cabin would have cost for the same 4 people with a better experience the whole way. The rule I want you to leave this video with is this. The base fare is not the price. The base fare is the starting bid. Always build out the real total before you compare. Let's lay it out side by side so you can see it in one shot. Frontier at DFW, personal item free. Carry-on bag $59 at booking, $79 at check-in, $99 at the gate. Check bag $39, $49, or $79 depending on timing. Seat selection, $10 to $50. No food or drink included, you're paying per item on board if you want anything. Southwest at Love Field, personal item, free. Carry-on, free. 2 checked bags, free. No seat selection fee because there's no assigned seating. It's open boarding. And you get a small complimentary snack and drinks on board. Look at that gap. If you need to check even one bag, Southwest is very often the actual budget option once you count everything, even though its base fares aren't always the rock-bottom number you'll see from Frontier. Frontier wins on the headline number. Southwest wins on the real number for a lot of common trips. Since I brought it up earlier, let's talk about Frontier's GoWild All-You-Can-Fly Pass. The full annual version is $599 a year. The one everyone's talking about right now is the $199 GoWild Summer Pass, valid May 15th through September 2nd. Here's the catch, and it's a real one. You can only book within 3 to 10 days of departure. This is not a pass for planning a trip in advance. It's a pass for people who can drop everything on short notice. From DFW, the routes available under GoWild include Vegas, Denver, Orlando, Cancun, and Chicago. If you're the kind of DFW area traveler who can look at their calendar on a Tuesday and say, I'm free this weekend, let's go to Vegas, this pass is genuinely one of the best deals in American aviation right now. $299 for unlimited flights all summer is an incredible number if you can actually use the spontaneity. But if you're someone with a job that needs advance notice, a family with set summer plans, or you just don't like booking things 4 days out, skip it. You'll pay $299 and use it twice, and that's not a deal. That's a subscription you forgot to cancel. Know which type of traveler you are before you buy this. Let's put this all together into a matrix you can actually use next time you book.
Use Frontier or another budget carrier when you're flying a domestic leisure route, Vegas, Orlando, Denver, Cancun. You're a solo traveler with just a personal item. Your dates are genuinely flexible and book 60 to 90 days out for the best fares. It's a direct flight only, no connections, because a missed connection on a budget carrier means you're on your own. And the trip is non-critical, a vacation, not a job interview or a wedding you can't miss. Use Southwest out of DLF when you need free checked bags, family trips, longer trips, anything with real luggage. You want flexibility, free changes, credits that never expire. Your destination is in Southwest's strong network, Austin, Houston, Denver, Florida, and you're willing to make the drive to Love Field instead of DFW. Skip budget airlines entirely when you're flying with checked bags as a family. The total cost is often higher than legacy. You'd be connecting on a budget carrier. A missed connection there can strand you for a day or more with no rebooking help. It's business or work travel, no flexibility built in, and the risk isn't worth what you'd save. It's international beyond Frontier's limited Caribbean network. American and Delta have far better support if something goes wrong overseas. Or you're flying over the holidays. Budget carriers cancel and delay at meaningfully higher rates during peak travel, and you do not want to be the person stranded on Frontier on December 23rd. That's the matrix. Screenshot it if you want the quick version next time you're booking. So here's where we landed. Spirit's gone, that changed real fares overnight, and it's not coming back. Frontier is now the main budget player at DFW, and it can absolutely save you money only if you travel light and stay flexible. Otherwise, those fees eat the savings fast. Southwest at Love Field is quietly the better budget pick for a lot of DFW area travelers, especially anyone checking a bag, because free bags and free changes are worth more than a slightly lower base fare. Allegiant doesn't serve us, and Sun Country's a minor, seasonal player worth a glance, but not a plan. And the GoWild Pass is fantastic, if and only if you're actually spontaneous. The single biggest thing to take from this video: always build the real total before you compare an airline's price to anything else. The base fare is never the whole story. If this helped you make sense of the DFW budget airline mess, subscribe. I cover DFW flight deals, booking strategy, and travel tools regularly, and I'm always testing this stuff from where I actually live and fly. Next video: how to pack a carry-on for any trip, TSA rules, and what actually fits in a personal item. That one's coming soon. Comment below. Have you flown Frontier or Southwest out of DFW since Spirit shut down, and did the fare match what you expected? I read every comment, and it genuinely shapes what I cover next. See you in the next one.